again. That's just,
How?
what happened? How am I doing this?
You came all the way back around.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody ready?
Yep.
You know the recording rules. Don't admit to any felonies and try not to curse. Good?
Got it.
Yep.
All right, let's do this. Ladies and gentlefolk, welcome to Fair Magic, a video stream Twitch live recording podcast recorded by sober men who are here of their own free will at a normal time of day to discuss magical gathering cards that we have just made up. Today's theme, my favorite color, is red. We're doing red cards today. Who's got ideas for red cards?
All right. So I feel the need to get this one out there.
Okay.
I'll confess I've done some discussing with about this card beforehand.
What?
I know, right?
Oh.
So, single Phyrexian red.
Okay.
For a 1/1 goblin.
Okay.
With haste. That has to attack each turn if able.
This is going in. None
Yeah.
other revisions.
Well,
All right.
you've got goblin in the creature type. That's
You're right,
fairly
actually.
significant,
Let's go with
actually.
elemental.
Ooh.
Ooh,
That's reasonable.
yeah. Gives another tool for elemental decks in all formats.
Yeah.
What if it was merfolk?
In red?
Yeah.
Okay. No. That is incredibly strong.
It is
Some
free.
serious lore changes there too to get.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just play it in every blue deck for 2 life.
Play it every day. It's pretty good.
The fact that it's red really does not matter if it is free.
What?
Have you seen the card Vault Scourge?
Uh,
Did you know that card is black?
I did know.
No. Can't
Also,
prove
black is the second most dominant color in Affinity in Modern,
That is fair.
because it's that and Cranial
Cranial
Plating,
Plating, yeah.
which needs black to do out instant speed.
that. Alright,
All
here's
right,
my-
we got way off topic.
Yeah,
Um,
back on
That's
the.
good. People love the modern digressions. I found that the demographic of this show is 5 people who want to learn more about magic who come to the shop, and they appreciate these conversations.
Okay, that's good to know.
Hey Shannon, how you doing? I wanted an extra turn spell in red that didn't make you lose the game. Here's what I came up with.
Wow. Okay.
2 or 3 red and 1 colorless, CMC 4. Take an extra turn after this one. For the rest of the game, damage you take is doubled.
For the rest of the game.
So,
Yes.
like, you get an emblem with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Take double
Huh.
damage for the rest of the game, but you get 1 extra turn.
I would go with 4 colorless and a red for that effect.
For 5 mana.
For 5 mana, you're on rate with a lot of the other extra turn spells.
Should be
You only
double red, I think.
Yeah, it should be 2 red and 3.
All
Two
the
red
time,
and
all the
three.
time
So
orcs
do you.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that checks out.
Because you could just
Yeah.
splash that card in so much stuff, like
Yeah.
just like the Thragtusk effect. Like
Yeah.
1 green would have been so much better for the format at 2 green. And
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Okay, what about something like
That's also like the upper limit of where you would curve out in red anyway.
Yeah.
It's like 5 mana.
Like,
Well-
4 you can cheat your way to pretty easily.
Mhm.
5 is an endeavor.
well, why don't you do the same thing that you did with Temporal Extortion and just make it 4 red. Red. For
I thought
take
about
an
that.
extra turn and then you get the emblem.
Yeah. Only because I wanted to let more than just mono red play it in EDH, so I was like, I'll go higher.
I see.
But yeah, that was my
I like that.
extra turn spell. Fair? Fair magic?
Honestly, yeah, I think with the 2 and 3.
You could see some standard abuse probably. There'd be a deck built around it.
Can't wait to watch that
I
Saffron.
mean, it would just
stream.
be
Yeah.
whatever blue-red control deck that just never lets you have another turn. 'Cause
No.
You just have planeswalkers like, you're not getting through my wall. I
Mhm.
don't care that I take double damage. Like, you're never going to touch me by the time this happens. That'd be the plan, at least.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that was my other idea for a 2 mana red planeswalker that was not bad. Here's what I came up with. He is a 2 red, comes into play with 1 loyalty counter. He has 1 ability, which is a +1, and it is deal damage to any target equal to the number of loyalty counters on this planeswalker.
That would be really good.
Ooh, so like a sulfuric vortex,
But
braid
he's-
of fire E.
Yeah.
But he's a planeswalker, so he can get beat down, shot. Like,
That seems really good.
I honestly think it's fair though.
Comes
Did
in
I
at,
do it?
It comes in at 1.
Comes in at 1.
yeah,
It's double red.
yeah.
I think that
Like if it goes unchecked, it's like a win the game. It's to any target. You said.
Yeah.
That sounds like Shrine of Burning Rage, but you get to do the damage for it. Every
Yeah,
single
that's kind of
turn.
true.
Mm.
In Shrine of Burning Rage, you had to cast spells and
Yeah.
stuff for it. This one's just like every turn you take 1, you take 2. No, you would take 2 and then you take 3. Yeah, you just keep going up. That'd be insane. You have to answer it in the first couple of turns it's out. If they're playing any other burn.
Yeah.
Sounds-
So equal to half the number of loyalties on this, rounded down.
So it does 1 the first time.
Yeah.
That would fix a lot of that. I think it wouldn't just
That
do
sounds
that
pretty good.
immediately.
Yeah. And it would do 1 the first 2 times.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That sounds pretty fair because it doesn't come out and just immediately jump into like killing every creature that has less than a 4. But
Yeah. But it's still solid because if you're on the play, you do that turn 2,
oh, it's
and
real
you
good.
kill their
That sounds
one
like it's
butt.
great.
Like,
Yeah, it protects itself immediately if
Yeah.
if they're not playing aggressive, but it doesn't immediately start going upstairs for
Yeah.
a ton.
is it less or more broken if that damage can only go to creatures?
I think it would be
Less.
less broken for sure.
yeah,
It'd be much
strictly
more-
less.
Even if you have the previous system where it went to 1
Yeah,
and then to
that's-
2, 3, 4.
That's what I was gonna say. It was like make it not target players, but goes 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. It's still very strong though, because you're just
You're
if
just
you
gonna
do it
machine
on
gun everything
curve,
they
like
play.
they're
Yeah.
just gonna blast whatever they play.
Then you
not-
just
you
play
have
it,
to
Yeah, it
answer
just
that.
protects itself way too well, I think,
Yeah.
that way.
you play it in the heavy red Jeskai shell and it just
Yeah.
goes hard by itself. You
Yeah.
just Supreme Verdict every other turn.
Yeah.
We gotta do half damage.
Yeah.
You got nerfed, Tibbers. I don't know what to tell you.
I still
like
think
that
he's
idea,
strong though.
I like the idea of a planeswalker that only has 1 ability.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
kind of dope.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Instead of giving them all these superpowers, they could be like the new planeswalkers. They don't have all their spells yet.
Uh-huh. Well, no, and red is kind of perfect for that because, like,
You push the button.
yeah,
I could see them making like flip planeswalkers out of uncommons and stuff. That
Mhm.
once they like get their spark. or
Oh my
something,
god, that
Yeah.
was it.
And then they flip over into a mini planeswalker that has 1
Uh-huh.
ability.
Brian, you did it. I couldn't remember what the other Fair Magic I wanted to do eventually was. Flip cards, that was it.
oh, nice.
No,
Could do
got
flip cards
there.
soon.
Got that team.
We can do flip cards now, but they have to be red.
that's a whole extra side.
So, alternate history, Fair Magic. What if they had printed Chandra from Origins as she flips into the planeswalker you just described?
What do you have to do to flip her again?
Cast 3 red spells in a turn.
Yeah. I would have it be the OP version then. Just 1, 2, 3, 4 damage to any target.
You got to work for it.
Yeah, because you gotta cast 3 spells. Okay.
No, actually, it's not that.
Mm.
It's she has to have tapped 3 times, right?
Or
And
she
then
just
she untaps and
she has to
recast.
deal 3 damage to a
Yes.
player in a turn,
Yeah,
and she taps for 2 already. You can like there's ways to make her untap
Uh-huh.
or like paying stuff.
Yeah.
And you flip.
but she untaps when you cast a red spell.
Yes, that
Yeah.
is correct.
So, alright, it's
And she, yeah,
Oh,
I
and she pings
still
for
think
1,
that's
so you have
so
to cast a
strong.
couple
Yeah,
spells. Yeah.
pretty strong.
How much
Yeah.
mana did she cost on the other? Just
3.
to cast 3.
She was double red in 1, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Why would Burn ever play a spell before turn 3? They just drop their Chandra and then fuck destroy you for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Just if you're going that'd be like red control, and because you still
Yeah.
want to be going upstairs fast. You don't want to like just sandbag all your spells so that they aren't taking damage for the first couple turns and they start to get setting up with stuff. And you're just
Yeah.
sandbagging spells. You're like turn 3 Chandra. You're playing a 3-drop on 3, and they're gonna get a whole turn to answer her, and then
Uh-huh.
you're gonna cast 3 spells and flip her, but she's not powerful enough to like I don't know.
She is a 2/1, I think. So she can swing in and then
I
untap
think
and
that's
then
what yeah.
so
Yeah. Probably the nerf version.
yeah,
That'd still be good.
it'd still be really solid.
It'd be an Origins card for sure.
Uh-huh. Well, no, because like Brian was saying, like lore-wise, planeswalkers who are just getting their spark and like figuring that out, that's cool.
It's good
Yeah.
plus one.
Yeah.
what about has 2 abilities on the back? It can be
Okay.
pluses if we have the same incremental system 1, 2, 3.
Sure.
But it adds mana of red, and then it has a -X that does X damage to any target.
Sounds like a great Chandra Torch of Defiance almost.
Yeah.
Minus
It's like
the
a mini pocket.
minus the draw effect that
Mhm.
that shoots
The
for
pocket
2.
rocket.
That also references one of my personal favorite cards in Magic, which is Braid of Fire. So I'm gonna say it's fair just because it does that.
Fair.
Yeah. But it's way better because it adds it on your main phase instead of
And it keeps going
during
up
your
every turn
upkeep.
too.
Yeah.
So it adds. She comes in at how many loyalty?
that would have to be one.
One. And then it goes up 1 or 2.
One.
1. So then she makes 2 mana the first time she flips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, then the X takes a while to get there.
Yeah.
So it's not like overly broken coming in at like 4, going up to 5. Then you just shoot anything off the board that comes down to answer it.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't really defend itself as effectively anymore, but the mana is really strong. Because on the second turn she's down, she's going to be adding 3 mana.
Yeah, you're going to be playing big boys. You're
Yeah.
going to be playing 6 drops and stuff on turn 4, 6, 7 drops.
In a mono red deck.
That's dragons.
Yeah.
The Thunder Mob, the set comes down real easy when you get that thing out.
Ah!
But see, that's where it's balanced because you're gonna have to cast a bunch of spells to get her to flip anyways, so
Yeah.
it restricts the structure of what you're
That's true,
able to
actually.
do with the big mana.
Uh-huh.
So you have to. I think that provides an interesting deck building restriction
Yeah.
that leads to
Yeah.
some of the most interesting updates.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Officially fair Magic. That flip Planeswalker.
Oh man,
How about a 3
I
mana?
hate it
red
when you
Mind
guys.
Freak?
I hate it when we change a card like 5 times over 5 minutes because I have to like
Uh-huh.
go through it.
Do we want to recap what that one was?
No, I got it on the video.
Got
I'll
it?
figure it out.
Yep.
Planeswalkers.
Yep.
How about a Mind Shrieker, double red and 1, but it's a 2/2 flyer with the pay 2 colorless flip, get +X equal to CMC. Flip the top card of target player's library.
In red.
Really
Double red and 1 for a 2/2 flyer that you pay the 2 mana. Get +X equal to CMC of the card that gets milled off a target player's library. Or you can make it your own, maybe just your opponent, so you can't like tricky play with your own library and dump huge caddies in there.
I'd allow it.
I would take it for a red and 1 as the activation.
Okay, yeah, that makes. So you can't
Yeah.
splash it as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty spicy.
Be pretty good in limited.
Yeah.
Is it a
flyer.
creature?
Yeah, it's a
Uh-huh.
bird. It's a flying something.
A weird.
There's a
we'll
blue
call it.
creature that already has that, but it's a 1/1 for a blue and 1. But making it a little more expensive than a 2/2, I think
It's pretty
pretty
reasonable.
playable. My
Yeah.
freaker didn't see much play, except in my decks
For those
and
that
in my
might
heart.
Mhm.
I'm trying to make a Mind Shrieker on any episode.
You're 2 for 2, I think. I think at one point you were just like, "What about Mind Shrieker?" Like, that's hard. You guys, what do you guys have?
I had a Mind Shrieker that was 3
Okay.
mana.
Did you go with Jackson?
Ooh, let's see. What about some form of artifact that you can use? Well, I was about to describe a red birthing pod. Let's not. Let's never.
Birthing pod, and it gets haste.
Like,
Red.
Oh God. No,
Through
thank
the
you.
Breach Birthing Pod combo.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Sort of a Quicksilver amulet birthing pod, but in red, and it costs.
Explain what you mean by Quicksilver Amulet Birthing Pod. Because
Like,
that is.
okay, so it's a 6 mana enchantment
Mhm.
that you can pay some amount of mana to. I'm not sure whether it would have to be 4 or could it be 3 to put a creature card of a certain type from your hand onto the battlefield.
The type makes it pretty fair because then you can only play it in, more.
I got you, fam. How about this? 5 mana artifact, 3 red mana activation cost, Put a creature from your hand into play. It has haste. Activate this ability only if you've dealt combat damage this turn. I guess haste doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say the haste is a very
No!
niche thing, but like that's fine.
I was thinking
It's
activated
occasionally
abilities,
relevant.
so, like tap. I was trying to think of like
Uh-huh.
strong
Yeah,
tap abilities.
In red.
yeah.
Red. Yeah.
Oopsie daisy.
A little giant ballad
you
up
could
in
make it
there.
a-
Uh-huh.
You have 5 mana artifact instead of an enchantment, so it's easier to kill.
Yeah.
And then pay 4 and tap it. Put a creature in with haste. It bounces back to your hand at the end of turn. Kind of like you have to dash it every turn, so you can't develop board presence with it, but you can keep swinging with something that's big.
I like that. Or you could change it to, instead of combat damage, any damage. So you gotta get him with a bolt and then do the thing.
I'm gonna pitch a variation of this.
Okay.
I like what you said about the type of the creature.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking like old school goblins. 5 mana artifact, pay honestly 3 red to tap and activate. You may put a goblin creature from your hand into play.
Interesting.
Is it 5 mana?
Yeah.
5 mana, it costs 3 to activate.
No, double
Goblins are
red.
pretty like low to the ground
Yeah.
mana wise.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what goblin.
Like that you
Geeky
can't,
geeky.
Kijigi.
but you can just cast that guy the turn. You can
That's
play that
fair,
artifact.
yeah.
That's extremely fair.
Yeah. It's too fair.
It'd be really good in EDH
Yeah.
because then the games go long where you're not just one on one. Your goblins are just coming out left and right. You're not waiting until turn 5. EDH, you sit back on end of turn. I'll activate this thing 3 times. Put 3 goblins in it. End of turn.
Uh-huh.
Wait, it's not a tap ability?
It's a tap.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Okay.
even 1 is still, I guess, decent. Sneakier, crank them
No,
in it.
yeah,
end of
I
turn.
like the not tap ability thing.
It's triple red, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it could it be double red and a tap ability?
It would have to be like goblins on the card too, so you couldn't like imagine dragons just triple red, slamming in dragons for 3 red. So it would have to say like goblin on the card. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like it is goblin tribal specific.
What about from your library?
From your library to your hand, maybe.
Into play.
That seems,
Why would I
that's way,
negotiate with you?
that's way too good. That's way too good.
Into
Yeah.
play,
People
and
play
you bring the coffee.
Planar bridge
For goblins.
is for
Yeah.
goblins
Yeah.
only. So you can probably do like 5 and
5 and 5.
6.
Yeah, 5 and 5. Activate ability with a tap.
Then you're
Tutor a goblin from your library into play.
Yeah, artifact comes into play tapped. Because, like, you should have already won the game at that point, right? If you're playing
That's true.
goblins.
Actually, I really like that because it gives goblins something to do later on when they're not drawing cards.
Yeah.
Like, it gives the deck a lot more legs than it otherwise has.
Yeah, and it's not going to see like super competitive play.
Yeah.
Because of the 5 mana cost.
Well, we also can't forget that recently in Ixalan Arrivals, I can't remember, there was a 3 mana enchantment called Arcane Adaptation that makes all of the creatures in your
Yeah.
deck
A certain
and in
type.
your deck and that you own in your hand, the type that you name,
The blue conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
for 3 mana,
Yeah.
which is very
Color
important
shifted
They
and
keep
much
pushing
cheaper.
it
Yeah.
down. Like, it's like, when will people play this effect?
right
What do we
now.
have to cost it?
But then you just
I don't think this card would go through standard.
It's one of those skip standard cards.
No, I think it would be like a commander tribal goblin deck.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Like they're gonna go back to tribal at some point. They haven't done goblins yet.
I want that. I want tribal wolves.
What's the least played
Oh,
red tribe? Like or at least-
Minotaurs.
That's true. I tried to play Minotaurs. Like,
Uh-huh.
oh man,
It's so hard.
they're all 3 and 4 drops. You never
Yeah.
get there. And the only 1 and 2 drops are straight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
that's
Blood
so
Rage
good.
Brawler.
And there's like that
That's
0-2 for
terrible
1
EDH,
black.
you're
or
right.
something. Or like a 1-2.
Uh huh.
Well, it might even be a 2-1. He's like not even the correct. He's not even a real Minotaur.
But you curve out into that Cascade Boy.
Skateboard.
big ol' is it man?
Yeah.
Turn it to your hand.
Racist Minotaurs.
You should get the punk out
If you
factor.
could be your general, maybe, but no.
There are some blue Minotaurs. They're all wizards though.
That's true.
Oh man. Can't play that deck.
You could run Arcane Adaptation and make them more goblins.
You could.
Play the Goblin Portal.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
That just reminded me. Names. We haven't named any of these cards.
Are we doing that now?
Do you want to?
No.
That's fair.
You can name him if you want, but
Flame Shrieker.
That's already a card.
Fire Shrieker?
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's a card too.
Oh my god. I'm still trying to think of a red transform card. You can do something super basic where it like gives you a marginal advantage, like you get to discard and draw every turn, get the loot, and then if you've cast like 3 spells this turn, you flip it over and it does double damage. Like, it's not hard to design.
You could have a Tormenting Voice land. Like if you control 8 mountains, it flips, and then you have to pitch a card to draw 2. And you pay cost like 3 and tap it, and you pitch a card and draw 2.
That'd be cool. That'd be so strong.
Yeah, but you gotta
But you
have,
have to-
eight,
yeah,
you have to
you
have
flip
8
it so
mountains.
late.
Yeah, exactly. So if you flood out a little bit, it gives you like, oh, now we're drawing cards at the end of the game.
I like
A
that.
transforming land thing, or I guess they
You
all
could
start
go
as
with fewer
enchantments.
mountains, I think. You could go down to like 6 mountains and
That
that.
sounds way better.
What-
Yeah.
yeah, but then you just play it in your green-red decks,
Yeah.
and you're running like Stomping Ground and Cinderglade, and you get to
And you get to the 3 non-original dual lands
sure.
and 3 mountains.
Thank you for
Which is
pointing
still
out
a
that
lot.
I am young. I apologize.
It's okay.
But yes, you end up with all these cards in play, and then you just have this free Tormenting Voice. Like
No, it's
Faithless-
not free.
You gotta pay 3 and tap it, so it's like four lands out of your turn, and you have to pitch a card as part of the cost.
I still feel like that's really good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
feels
it's good.
I'm trying to draw cards in red.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to flip.
explosively
It would be a rare
good.
to mythic, I guess.
Yeah.
Just like the ones that are in the cycle
No,
now.
I mean, it's not explosive. Like,
In modern, maybe you have like prime times coming down.
Yeah, like Faithless Looting is already a card, and that's draw and pitch 2. When you're generating card advantage and still
You
able
can't pit. You have to sandbag a card to use it too. 'Cause
Uh,
you can't. So like Faithless, you can draw 2, pitch one of those 2. Like this one, you have to sit on something. You gotta take a turn off.
but it feeds itself.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh, yeah.
the snowbally.
well, I mean, Gaia Reach Sanitarium is just a land that comes down straight,
Yeah.
and you can tap 2 and it to, like, just loot once.
Mm-hmm.
If you're putting a restriction on it, like you have to control 6 mountains to flip into this, I think you can get a little bit of advantage out of it.
Okay. Yeah. I see. It's like a lot like the
He doesn't do
Automatic
much
Compasses of the world.
Like, it's really good later, but it's not good soon.
It doesn't actively affect the board state when it comes down.
Yeah.
Unless you're dropping it late and it flips. I guess I don't know when it would check. And how would it come down? They all come down as enchantments now, right?
Yeah.
So would this be an enchantment as well?
Mm-hmm.
Like double red and 1.
Yeah.
2 red and 2. Or the other like Search Raz Kanta's real good, and that's a
Mhm.
blue and 1.
Yeah, that one's real good.
And it starts doing stuff early.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even know what the front side of this thing would be. Make a 1/1 goblin with haste every turn, has to attack. And
No.
and it hurts you for 2 life.
Oh, man.
Comes full
That's pretty
circle.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll figure out the most of this card when we do the transform episode. I just want to get it out there because I like the idea. I want a transform card that is a red 1/1 Wumpus that when it dies, the back of the card can be one of 2 different things.
Okay.
It's the same card. You go on the front. You can only have 4 of them, but your opponent won't know what it's going to transform into until it flips over.
That's kind of dope. I mean, they've had transforming creatures that you pay mana to change their abilities and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one. I think this one is when it dies, so your opponent has to think about whether or not they want to kill it.
You can get you can get pretty fancy with the types of creatures or the power levels that you put on the 2 different creatures. One would be like semi-defensive, one
Yeah.
would be aggressive.
Wait, you wouldn't know either.
You're not allowed
Like
to look.
controlling the creature, you wouldn't know.
Oh, you're saying even the back of the card?
The front of the card
I
is
thought
the
it would be
same
like
on
a
each of the
random
four.
effect, like you would roll a die or something, and you
No.
get one of the two,
No,
or
it's
you get to
different.
choose each one.
No,
That
it
would
has
be the
the
smart
same.
way to do it.
This would be an uncard. It would have to be.
Yeah, that
It has
sounds
the
like
exact same art on the front,
Have like a
but the
lip,
back is different.
have like a
Yeah.
checklist or something too that you could just roll a die on and get any one of these random. I do like the idea of they're all different, but you would know
Yeah.
if you. How would you draft that without not knowing exactly?
Yeah,
what
that
you
would be really funny. I think it is perfect uncard material.
Oh yes, indeed.
All right, save it for the onset, which we will also do.
Yeah.
All right, I want Red to do more weird artifact stuff like they've slowly been doing more
Okay.
recently. Here's what I got for you. When it's you can make this in an artifact, or if hard mode or super hard mode, you can make it a creature or an enchantment.
Mm-hmm.
When an artifact comes into play under your control, untap it.
I'd be comfortable doing that on a Magus sort of thing. A Magus of the Amulet.
Yeah.
Red. I feel like that would be more, since it's just a straight artifact, it could be just colorless. No, but like Bazaar Baghdad has a Magus, right? And that's
Mhm.
blue. So I feel like that would definitely be a red effect, just a red and 2 for a 2/2. That has, whenever an artifact is battlefield under your control, untap it, or whatever the phrase is.
Yeah.
The amulet figure.
Yeah, that seems. For how much mana?
He's saying 3.
2 and a red.
That's how much the Maguses cost right now. All the other ones, I think, for a 2/2, right?
Yeah, for a 2/2.
And then you tap it to gain whenever artifacts come into play, like this turn, they untap.
Ooh.
Tap sack the rest of the
Because
turn.
all the other ones, all the other Maguses are tap and get an effect.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the artifact for the red until end of turn, whenever an artifact is under your control, untap it.
If that was a static effect, is that what you were talking about?
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
That'd have to be like a 5-mana,
Okay,
like
that-
3/4 or something like that.
That's probably
I like the
fair.
idea of big Maguses though that have
Yeah.
better effects that just cost more. There's bigger versions of them.
Mhm.
Well, Magus of the Portal.
Mm.
8/8 for 8, and it has the plate of bridge
Oh,
ability.
God. Oh, no.
So what do you think? Fair, unfair? I would go 5-mana enchantment.
That seems right.
Seems the most fair.
Yeah.
Oh, I would run that.
What Magus of the Breach? He just has through the breach as a tap, but he's like he's got like a small butt so you can kill him easy. I don't know. He's like I don't know.
That's actually super fair.
Seems like he's not going to be super playable in really competitive formats because he's a 5-drop, but that'd be super standard material.
Yeah.
Like you could even make him like a 2/1 or something, so you can get pinged to
2/1.
death.
Yeah.
He'd probably be super unplayable at his 2/1, but
Yeah.
if you want him to be pushed, like a 2/4
How about this? O2,
or
he
a
has
1/4.
haste.
No, O2 with haste. Jesus, that's a little broken.
How about it also costs 5 mana to
You mean it's
activate?
just a through the breach?
Yeah, it's just third bridge and standard. And it's a creature.
I'm sorry.
How about if it costs 5 mana to activate?
Ooh,
And it
And
costs
it was-
5 mana to play.
And it was a 3-drop.
A 3-drop, and then like a 2/2.
Yeah.
Or 3-drop 2/2, 5 mana activate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta take.
this is
Although
great.
like turn
I play that.
5, you play him with counter backup, and then
Yeah.
you take your next turn. Hopefully he lives, and then you start
Mhm.
putting hasty large mans of the format of your choice.
Seems right.
Yeah. No, that's turn 6.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm okay with
that'd be
that.
just a nice control deck, like trick,
Yeah.
like slam this guy, set up a disdainful stroke or whatever,
Mhm.
negate. Go to town next turn. Hopefully you have some new Eldrazi or
Yeah.
giant Phyrexian creatures.
It gives red control a thing to do,
Yeah.
which is
I
always
feel like that would be a
interesting.
modern deck for sure, blue-red control. Like
Mhm.
it'd just be like another combo deck. It would just set up its turn, like bolt things early.
Yeah.
How about this? This is a previous episode heater, but it applies. 2 red and 1 counter target spell unless that spell's controller takes 5 damage.
Like a browbeat.
Yeah.
hmm
Mm.
I mean, Yeah, I like those kind of effects. Like they have
Yeah.
the risk factor in standard right now. Similar kind of.
People love that card, man.
Yeah.
It's real good with jumpstart.
Yeah.
Because now it's 8 damage.
Uh,
You're probably gonna get 3 cards eventually.
Yeah.
So counter it. How much mana did you say it was?
It's 2 red and 1.
For a red counter spell.
Yeah.
That they can just pay 5 life to get around.
Yep.
I think at 4 it might be a little more fair. 3 seems really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You play like
In a burn deck, you
Yeah.
kind of get some dudes out early, and then they
Play
try
some
to kill
hasty
your shit. You're
boys.
just like, do you want to take 5, or do you want to kill one of my guys? Like,
Yeah.
I guess
that's
I
pretty
don't
good.
know. 5 to the face.
Yeah, I think
yeah, but also a 4-drop counter spell.
Well, at 4, I think it's a little more fair. Yeah, at 3, I'm saying it's real good. I think.
yeah, I'd be fine with that. Playing at turn 4 is probably better. Also, like, because then you get like more good result. You're playing your normal red game, and then on turn 4, you're like,
Yeah.
do what you want. We got any other red cards?
I'm fresh 8.
All right.
You do.
I think we nailed it, boys.
Yep.
That was Fair Magic. Thank you all for coming out. I was, in fact, live streaming this the whole time. No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't doing that. Catch you guys next time.
Bye.